So, always been a fan of customizing my phone and having everything look uniform, nice. So, when I heard about the custom icons trend, I immediately jumped on it. I made some icons. They looked terrible. I made some slightly better ones. Then color widgets ruined my life by changing their widget color. So, I finally decided, okay, why not go the Daniel Krafft method and make icons in Blender? By the way, huge shout out to Daniel Krafft. He's doing some amazing work over on his channel. I'll have his entire Making Icons playlist down in the description. Amazing channel. You should immediately go subscribe if you like Blender content. Just love that stuff. Anyways, today I'm going to talk about how I made my crazy black and red overkill custom home screen in Blender. And how you can too. Alright, so we start, just make a new file, normal. And this default cube. Oh, the default cube. We're going to destroy it vertex by vertex, the correct way. Make it suffer. Destroy the default cube. Yeah, get him. Destroy it. The default cube, no, we don't do that here. Destroy it all the way. Okay, yeah, it's gone. Goodbye. Now, immediately, we are going to make another one. It's a cube, but it is not the default cube. We do not speak of the default cube here. Okay, so we want to make this into sort of an icon shape. So to do that, we are going to need a reference image. So just find a reference image, drag it in, and then, yeah. So you want to scale your cube to the correct size. So just put it in, and then sort of scale it up, just like that. And again, it has to be perfect, because if it's even a millimeter off, then it's not going to look right on your home screen. It needs to be perfect. So now we're going to go and we are going to bevel it. And we want to give it the correct amount of subdivision. So use your scroll wheel, and then about that much is good. Make it perfect. Then left click, you're done. Okay, and now we realize, oh no, it's thick. So go ahead and then just scale it across the z-axis only. Okay, that's looking pretty good. Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to smooth it out, because it looks rough, right? We need it to be smooth. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to add a subdivision sort of smaller, fire, scale it up, not too much, because we don't want our computer literally die during the render, and shade smooth. Okay, that's looking pretty good now. So we can delete our reference image, then we're going to go drag that off to the side. Now we want to make our actual icon. So again, just get another reference image. I already have all mine saved because I've done this before. I'm doing it for the second time. Okay, so we're going to use Discord. And again, we want to scale it down. So just do that. And we want to trace it because, again, reference images don't show up in the final thing, and we want a 3D version. So we're going to use a cube, and we're going to turn that into one vertex by going to edit mode, hitting M, and hitting collapse at center. So now we're going to grab it, and we're going to put it to wherever we want it to start. And we're just going to trace for, forever. It's going to take a really long time. Cue the music. Okay, so now what we need to do is fill it, and again, don't worry about the eyes. We will cut those later. So what we need to do now is extrude it to a reasonable height, and let's just move it off to the side. We don't need to actually use that right now. We need to make the eyes, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to create cylinders, because the eyes are cylinders. I mean, you don't need to trace these, right? You can just make a cylinder. For simpler shapes, you don't have to trace them. So then we're just going to shape this perfectly, like that. That's great. Make 2 of them, and hit 1, and then just scale both of those up because again, they're not going to be in the final thing. This is just to cut holes in our main icon. And let's go ahead and delete our reference, because I mean we don't need that anymore. Just get rid of it. And now we can want to add a Boolean modifier. So Boolean modifier lets you cut into objects. So we're going to select that, hit H to hide, just to see if it worked. That's good. Now we need to apply it. And apply. Good. Delete that because we don't need it anymore. Now do the same thing for the other side. Create a Boolean modifier and select that, H to make sure it worked, Alt H, and apply, and we're good. Okay, so now what we need to do is make it smooth. So normally most people just right click and shade smooth and then it looks disgusting, but you also need to go into normals and select auto smooth. See, now it looks beautiful. It looks perfect. I love it. Okay, so now we want to put it on the actual icon base itself, so just grab it and then move it over there. And we scale it down a bit, and we want to make sure it's in the correct place. So just G, and then move it up. And it's there. I mean, I think it's ready now. So let's start shading. Okay, so first of all, we want to do the base. I want like a matte metallic black. So again, never do pure black in Blender. It never looks good. So do like a gray sort of thing, and then just metallic to 100%. See, in that, it looks so much better. Like, so much better. Like, come on. And we need to do the logo as well. Do the exact same thing. Instead of black, red. So just go into RGB and just select red all the way. And metallic all the way. And, oh my god, it looks great. Okay, now we need to get the camera into position. So we want to get in a perfect top-down shot. And frame it. So 1200 by 1200, 200 light traces, ray traces, whatever. And we need to frame it perfectly. If it's not framed perfectly, it won't work, like, at all. Okay, so that right there, that's perfect. It's framed properly. And what we need to do now is delete that standard light, and we want a sun. So we just want, like, one light on top. So Shift-A, get, like, a sun. And, yeah, hit 1 to go into that, to that view. And just move it to the top. And that will create a good light. So let's go into render view actually to see how it looks. And, oh well, it's Eevee, so it looks terrible. Everything looks terrible in Eevee. No one should use Eevee. Eevee is terrible. Switch to cycles. Yeah. Okay, that looks much better. And, yes, the PC will slowly die. Slowly die. Thank God I'm recording this voiceover afterwards so that you can't hear the fans. And you just render it out, and yeah, it looks finished. It's done. And now I just have to make 19 more of these, because I need to fill up my home screen. Okay, so I did the 19 more, obviously. Like, my home screen is finished now. It looks, like, it just looks fantastic. You know, get the shadows and everything. A lot of people ask me, okay, why didn't you do this in 2D? I did do it before in 2D. You don't get those shadows. You don't get that depth that you get in Blender, and I mean, it's obviously not proportional in the amount of work to how much better it looks, but I mean, it was a cool exercise in Blender. You got to learn how to use subdivision surface modifiers, Boolean modifiers. I learned a lot of things. It was my first complete renders in Blender, and I think it's a great exercise for anyone who just wants to get into Blender and do something simple, you know, just create icons. It's great. If you're on Android, I mean, well, it's Android. You can do anything with it. I mean, I used a combination of icon themer and shortcuts to get them on there. You can look up how to do it. I mean, I'm not going to make, like, the 400th tutorial on how to use icon themer. Just search up how to install and use the icon themer shortcut, and then bam, you'll have your icons. And I am not going to leave links to all of them in the description because I want you, the viewer, to go try it yourself. Make these icons yourself. You don't need a very powerful computer. You just need Blender. It's a free open source software. And you just need somewhere to put the icons. So thank you so much for watching. You know, most people don't get to this point. So if you did, good job. Consider subscribing. I mean, because, like, yeah, you watched the video, you enjoyed the video, so please subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time.